The internet is getting lazy with its meta. There was a time when, no doubt, it was subversive, off-putting, and dare I say, insightful to shout the N-word with some surrounding text. That time is long gone. What began as the project of a few edgy liberals on Something Awful and 4chan would come to attract the very Nazis they seeked to ironically critique. Racism and its auxiliary ideas permeate the internet today to such an extent that it is homogenous. When I started this channel, I wanted to scare people off. I wanted these videos to be entirely my own. For me. So much so that I made an entire series entitled Unsubscribe. My thinking was, the more esoteric I became, the more ambiguous my beliefs were, the more people I would alienate. What I came to find, however, was firmly the opposite. Counterculture had become regular culture, and all the while I was implicitly promoting bigotry. And, much like Pol coming to attract real Nazis, I came to attract real people. Today, we fear sentimentality. We fear earnest expressions of compassion, of gratitude, of humanity. Irony is a poison not only because it encourages those of us who don't get the joke, but because it deprives us of our humanity. It intentionally blurs the message out of shame. Insecurity. For every self-deprecating statement couched in irony with a dog whistle randomly inserted, there is a normie lurking, a mere NPC, subsumed by the predominant ideology of the internet, of bigotry, spouting lines from a command prompt, their commanding officer. To be cringe is to rebel. To accept is to rebel. To revel in our honesty is to rebel. To love equally is to rebel. And if these statements alienate people, as my goal has always been, I welcome your hatred. To take one last phrase from my old friend 4chan, normal fags, fuck off. To take one last phrase from myself, unsubscribe.
Hello, I am here today with my friend Anthemic Lullaby, otherwise known as Joshua Wiley, and we're here to talk about irony. What is it?
It's the irony that's the key to bleed all your dreams.
This is true, because unbeknownst to me and many viewers of this channel, many of whom originated from 4chan, irony is a poison. Irony poisoning has infested my YouTube channel for like 2 months now, and it's literally a case of YouTube getting lazy with its meta. Because there was a time online, I want to know if you remember this, when like it was like a new thing to pretend to be like a far right fascist and then like adopt all of those aesthetics. And then eventually like actual fascists started adopting them, and then it just became like normal everywhere.
Yeah, you know, you say, well, you say one thing and you say one thing and then, it's about the armed genocides you don't commit that make you a racist. It's not the ones you do. That's what I, yeah, I don't know. That's not an edgy joke. It's just true. What?
What we need is an unarmed genocide against the concept of irony.
True. Yeah. We karate master those. We kick its ass with like anime karate shit.
Yes. To the ending theme of Dragon Ball GT, we will bring about sincerity to this world.
Don't you say, even when you're gone, I pray, I'll see you one more day. I still worry about you. Don't you see? I forgot the rest of the lyrics, but it's it worked. I did have it memorized on command, on demand. I remember that service. Do you? No. Yeah, you probably do,
I
but you don't remember.
because
I see.
I had dial-up internet growing up. However, this half, quarter, one third of a song that you just sang is a million times more creative than the same aesthetics from 4chan that have been regurgitated time and time again by the purveyors of irony, um, the denizens of degeneracy that inhabit this here platform. But to get serious with you for a moment, folks, I think there's a bigger problem at play here. Like, it's not just about it being like so commonplace that it's lazy and not shocking anymore. I think it's like literally a form of mind control. Like, you start out making jokes about why black people are inferior or something, and you're like, oh, I'm being I'm being a real kooky guy over here, and then you do it a few more times, and that inevitably alienates people who are not of that persuasion and attracts people who are unironically of that persuasion. And you may not be able to tell immediately, because these people, they speak in a kind of coded language. But the longer you're around it, the more you become subsumed into this hegemonic ideology that I think basically creates subconscious biases in people. Like, I found myself, and I'm literally Jewish. I found myself like shouting "kike" and like oh, this greedy Jew and things like this, as if I literally hated the Jews to another Jewish person that I was mad at, and I would have
That
never done that before.
it's the French, the French person, you should have written racist to them for being French. That's not racist. That's just correct. Like,
Yes.
look, it's not about. Look, it's not my fault that Sartre's name sounds like you're sneezing at the end when you say it in French. That's that's why you fucking. Look, they're literally sick. They're literally ill. Their language makes them sound ill. It's not my fault. Look.
If we're being honest with ourselves, Sartre's entire body of work kind of was just a sneeze of the nose. But, baby's first philosophy aside, the mind poison, the mind control, the irony poison ends today. I expect 100 of you to be gone by the time this video is uploaded, and I welcome your hatred because it is sincere.
100 is you think you're like 300 because you want to be like Rome, but you ain't just a 100 ass hoe going to with no flow, but the show that are not gonna premiere on what programming block? You're not watching television, you're watching the internet. But what channel? They call them channels, but they're not TV channels. They're YouTube channels. Why they call them YouTube channels? They've been planning this fucking television takeover of YouTube since the beginning. They were always called channels. Well, then pretty soon they're gonna start autoplay. They put an autoplay of your of YouTube, and then they recommend this shit. Like it's all like auto playing on television. And what? Why? And they're auto-playing racism? They're auto-play the racism network. The network. The rhizome. The my home. Whoa. This is
And
like
that
this is the quality of people that you get to when you stop being racist. So the moral of the story is, what is the moral of the story, Osaka?
that all of that nonsense was 1,000% more creative than anything any of you fascists have ever made or said. And with that, goodbye.